go back to the slide which has got the vendors on it, way back at the beginning. There. So you said that you're going to get the information from the menus online. So what are the venues, these restaurants, why would they pay you when you already can get it offline?
Well, we're going to provide the data automatically to as much as we can restaurants, but with paying the fee, the monthly fee, they're going to be able to manage their profiles, making them more attractive, and to be listed higher in our search. For example, if you have a restaurant and you don't pay, and there is a restaurant that pays, and you have the same food that fits the user needs, the restaurant that pays will be listed with priority in our search.
Okay.
And that's how actually works all our competition, Yelp, Foursquare, and Urban Spoon.
Yeah. Yes. Google too, I mean. Yeah. Okay. So as a user who is diabetic, if I'm going to a particular city, I would use your application to find the restaurants in the city that have meals that I could eat.
You follow a specific diet, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. We're going to have an option where you select a diabetic, and we're going to have information about your diet, your default diet if you're diabetic, or you can enter a specific needs. And based on that, we're going to match the nutrition data of the menu with your needs and your diet. And we're going to pick the best using artificial intelligence algorithm, which picks the best option for you.
Okay. You can have one, or you can have several options.
So you can enter once your diet needs, and when you want to pick a restaurant nearby, we're going to show information about the top 4 meals, for example, in the restaurant that is near. So you can not only see the restaurant, but the meal that is in his menu.
So it's geolocation, right?
Yeah, using geolocation of your smartphone.
What if I go on Google
Okay.
and I put in no gluten foods in Scarlet, little town. Your algorithm will go, I think, start with the restaurants in the area.
Yeah.
And then it will look at the menus, and you will only have the restaurants that have already posted their menu
Yes.
on the web. And you will look at the items on those menus that I could eat and didn't have gluten. Is that how that goes?
Yeah. For example, when you go in Google or here right now, you're going to be listed with the restaurants that offer gluten-free food, for example, but you don't see the menu easily.
That's what is new
Yeah.
to me, that you have added the menu items, because they can also order gluten. We have gluten-free, but they may have, as you pointed out, 2 choices, and neither one of them appeals to you. And so that's the plus. How are you going to start? You going to start in one city, or?
We're going to start in San Francisco. As we found out that most of the restaurants we have been in, there are already menus about gluten-free, for example, and that means that these restaurants really care about these kind of customers that want specific food.
I mean, because they advertise that they're gluten-free? sorry, I'm having trouble figuring out what really happened.
What really happens if they want to advertise?
No, look,
Menus are online, which I didn't realize myself.
no, I've seen that increasingly. Yeah.
So imagine, let me just, so imagine that you have a smartphone, you have that application, and you have gluten allergies, you already have pre-selected the gluten allergies. Your smartphone knows that, and you go to St. Louis, and you land at the airport, you're really hungry. You click on the app, and the app tells you within 500 feet, there's a restaurant that has 10 meals that you can eat. Within 200 feet, there's a restaurant that has 5 meals that you can eat. Within 100 feet, there's a restaurant that has 3 meals that you can eat. Here are the options, and then you will then get to select. You to see what the options are, and you can actually, they can even direct you to the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
It has this function that will say, okay, walk 500 feet, take a left, if it's whatever you select, but that's the idea. It also probably works really well when you travel,
Yeah.
especially if you go to a city where you're not familiar with your environment.
Yeah, it's obviously valuable when I'm in a strange city.
Right.
And it's valuable if I'm out of my
Out of your
neighborhood.
usual neighborhood, yeah.
Usual neighborhood. Okay.
And you get, so you go to the restaurant and you have your meal. Now, where is your revenue stream from that?
Well, when you go in the restaurant, then you know where you're going.
No, so how do you?
Where's the revenue coming?
Yeah, where's the revenue coming?
Revenue coming from the advertising in our app, for
Oh,
example.
okay, so,
So when you look at the app and you look for a specific food, for example, an app will appear with offering you a gluten-free bar, for example. So you can buy it on the airport instead of going to the restaurant.
so the advertisements will be related to gluten-free. How do you get those advertisements? How do you find those people who want to advertise on this app?
Well, we are going to connect with organizations that provide
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're going to go with organizations that care about restaurants and information, and health organizations. Okay, this is for user acquisition. We're going to find the advertisers and brands that offer such food, and we are going to connect with them personally.
Okay, so you'll have advertisements,
Okay.
but there's no other revenue stream?
Well, the other revenue stream is from restaurants that want to be
The $20.
the $20 fee and advertising to restaurant as well. For example, if you search for restaurants nearby, the restaurant database can be listed with a priority, or we can show a restaurant that is far from your location, but they paid for advertisement.
So that'll be on top.
Yeah, and they will build on top.
And just a very minor point, you've named this LunchFit.
LunchFit, yeah.
Why LunchFit? Why not Food Fit?
Why not meal fit?
Meal Fit? Why
Because
lunch?
people usually go to eat on lunch to a restaurant, and that we chose this name.
It
I think
narrows,
that's a mistake.
it somehow narrows your
LunchFit,
thinking.
yeah.
That this is for lunch. It's not. It is in theory for any restaurant where you
Yeah.
go. So you
Well,
might-
maybe need.
So now you're gonna change that.
You might think about that.
Yeah.
This is a minor point, I think, but it's not clear to me what a diabetes diet is. It's not just no sugar. Diabetes is a very complicated disease, and I mean, it's true they want to know what was in there.
Yeah. Well,
As I say, it's a minor point, but you need to determine what your algorithm is for picking what is in fact a diabetic.
Yeah. well, for a specific diet or specifically diabetics, you have to eat specific kind of food, right? For example, you have to have, I'm not familiar with diabetics specifically, but we're going to have a nutritionist.
All I'm telling you is
We're
somebody
going-
better get familiar with diabetics
Yeah.
specifically, and it's not like gluten-free,
Yeah.
it's not like lactose-free. Those are clearly defined things, because they're defined in terms of chemical.
Yeah,
Diabetes is defined in terms of the disease, and that's different. And it doesn't make your idea good or bad. It just says that that's a more complicated issue. I don't have a sense for or against this application. I can see where I might want to take the family to dinner and want to see what's on the menu with lactose free, because I have a grandchild who's lactose. I really can't. Whether I would use this thing, I don't know.
well,
I think the need is there, I'm not.
okay.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks very much.